Yes, indeed. Oh, hello there! It is I, Professor Macabro, accompanied here, like always, by the ever-lovely Zombie Huesitos, and of course, the spooky crew. And you caught me doing a little bit of light reading, you see. Yes, I was catching up on some reading. I so rarely get to read nowadays. Yes, indeed. Your old pal Professor Macabro's life has gotten a bit too hectic lately. I can no longer just sit on a comfy chair smoking a pipe and doing some reading, you see. Oh, no. I barely have time to watch movies or record content. So reading, unfortunately, is one of those pastimes that have been forgotten as the years have gone by. But that's not to say that I still don't enjoy getting books from time to time. And I was gifted a couple of books. Yes, indeed, I was gifted a couple of books, and I hope I get to read them at some point. But I wanted to share them with you because I love sharing. Sharing is caring, as they say. So, what did I get? Well, let's see. I got some manga. Fun fact, manga is actually the Spanish word for sleeve. This is a manga. Yes, indeed. But manga also is a Japanese comic book. Yes. And the Japanese comic books are read a little differently. In your American books, you read your books this way. Like, ha 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 ha. But in Japan, you read your books this way. Ha ha ha. So it might throw some people off. I like manga. They're a lot more dynamic, more speed-line-ish, more artworky than your North American comic books. North American comic books, of course, is something that I used to enjoy a lot. But you get your comic book issues, your 22-page comic book issue, with your artwork, your colors, your writing, and all that stuff. Manga, however, is all in black and white, so the artwork tends to be showcased a little bit more purely. And it's a lot of fast action and very influential, as it happens, to North American comic books. Since a lot of North American comic books recently have taken up to a more dynamic storytelling like you see in your mangas. And the manga that I was gifted here is the unofficial Hatsune Mix. I don't know what that is. I am, again, very disconnected from manga. Usually, back in the day, I used to get a Shonen Jump, which had your Dragon Balls, your Bleach, which I really like Bleach, and your Shaman King or Yu-Gi-Oh! Back during the Pharaoh thing with the puzzle box. I liked the monster designs in Yu-Gi-Oh! But then they discontinued Shonen Jump because they wanted to go digital, which unfortunately broke my poor heart. And Shonen Jump was pretty cool. You would get little Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. There's some very rare Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that you couldn't get anywhere else. But that got discontinued, so I stopped reading manga. So I don't know who this character is. Hatsune Miku. Who's Hatsune Miku? I don't know. All I know is that I have seen her cosplayed by a lot of people. Cosplay is so when someone dresses up as a certain character, a costume. But cosplay, when they assume the role of the character that they are dressing up as. Go to any comic book or anime convention, and you will see someone dressed up in a certain character. And I know I've seen this character portrayed and interpreted by a lot of people. But manga, like I said, is read this way. You start, normally, it seems to us Americans, that you would read this from the end to the start. So you read like this, and you're like, ah, ooh, wow, ooh, wow, ooh, wow. And everything is black and white. And there are some really good horror manga out there, which I could afford to track down. But I got this. Again, no idea who this Hatsune Miku is. But again, I've seen her cosplayed by a lot of different people. The other thing I got is a soft cover of The Wizard of Oz. Now, I have seen softcover. Softcover, what is a softcover? Well, a softcover, as the name implies, is a book that has a soft cover, hence the name. And a hardcover, well, again, self-explanatory, the hardcover is hard. So, more durable. I prefer collecting, back when I collected books, the hardcover editions because they lasted longer. But, unfortunately, I always thought I owned a copy of The Wizard of Oz. I was sure I had a copy of The Wizard of Oz. And, shock and surprise, I didn't. So when I was gifted a copy of The Wizard of Oz, I took it. It's just the first story, doesn't have any of the other Wizard of Oz sequels. This is just your original Wizard of Oz in softcover. So I took it. Now this is something that I will eventually pass along to my gremlins. I've mentioned this before. My gremlins, especially the eldest gremlin, is really into Five Nights at Freddy's. And she's explaining all the lore and everything that happens. And one of the things that I had no deep knowledge of, and she was explaining, are the books. Yes, indeed, they did release a couple of books for Five Nights at Freddy's. And this is one of the series of those books, called Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights. And it's a couple of stories centered around the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, but it doesn't follow the main story. It's like alternate things. And these are, again, gifted books and much appreciated. But these are a little beat up. They are soft covers, so soft covers, again, don't last as much as your hard covers. They're a little bit more flimsy, a little weaker. They tend to unglue and bend really badly, but they are gifts and they are much appreciated, and I will read them. And I do want to read them first to see just how spooky they are. If they're a bit too spooky, I might wait a little bit longer for the gremlins to grow up so they can actually read this and not, you know, have nightmares. But it's I don't know if they released any other books in this series, but there are 4 here. And the first one is Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights #1, Into the Pit. A very cool title, I must say. And this is the worst off one. It's the most beat up, unfortunately. But this got adapted into a video game, an independent video game. I would assume sponsored by the Five Nights at Freddy's creator. And this is an alternate story about this boy that is in the future from the Five Nights at Freddy's. And then he's in this town that's, you know, going dead because the mill or the factory closed down and all the other people are jumping ship to the nearest town for job opportunities. And he does a Back to the Future and falls into a ball pit and is transported to the past to Freddy Fazbear's pizza place. And he is being stalked by a sort of spring trap. It's not really William Afton. It's just this thing that kind of looks like William Afton, or more specifically Spring Bonnie, and the little boy is being stalked. And I know all this because I saw the video game. But yes, I've been curious about this. There's also another book that's not part of this series called The Silver Eyes that gets referenced a lot in the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. So if I can track that one down, I'll buy it. But this is Into the Pit. And I like that title, Into the Pit. This one is Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights #2, Fetch. And I haven't read this one, but looks interesting. I like the cover. Nice and creepy thing there. Then we have Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights #3, 1:35 a.m. Cryptic. And at least with Fetch you can see the animal thing, but this 1:35 a.m. No idea what that's about. And the last one in this series that I have here is Freddy Fazbear's Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights #4, Step Closer. And I recognize that because that's Pirate Foxy. And he's really cool. I like the design of Pirate Foxy. Actually, Foxy is the one that has the most diverse interpretations. You have Pirate Foxy, And the other one that's more memorable is Mangle, which is like this hodgepodge of parts that has a foxy face on it. And then you have Roxy the Wolf, which is a really cool character that got introduced in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I like the design of that. So Foxy is the most diverse character, because Freddy always looks like Freddy, and Bonnie always looks like Bonnie, and Chico always looks like Chico with certain variations. But Foxy is the one that has more diversity in its designs. Even Funtime Foxy from Sister Location, he kind of looks like a better version of Mangle, but it still looks cool. So yes, I like Foxy, and I like the cover there. So I do want to read these books and see just how spooky they are. Are they goosebumps level of spooky? Then I can let my gremlins read them. If they're a little bit more extreme for the younger minds, well then, I'll wait a little more before I let them have at this. But yes, that is the small little book haul. I don't think I've done a book haul in this channel ever. Have I ever done a book haul channel? I can't remember. But I got gifted these books, and it's Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's spooky, so it fits my theme, so I wanted to make a video of that. So have you read any of the Five Nights at Freddy's books? Which one do you recommend? Let us know in the comments down below. But until we see you all again next time, this has been Professor Macabro. That is Zombie Huesitos and the rest of the spooky crew, and we wish you all, like always, a good evening.